looking at the voice settings, we're going to scroll down till we get to speech, and you'll see under voice mine is set as Ivy Child. And if I tap there on Ivy, then it shows you that there's a lot of other voices available, but you do have to download them. So when I click, if I wanted to download a different voice, I could pick, let me pick Brian. He's a man. So I hit download, and it asks me to log in. So if you have not set up a account with PRC, you can do that at their website, which will be posted at the end of this video, to set up a free account. Or you can hit right there, register now, and you should be able to sign up right there on your iPad. So I have an account already. So it says that I signed in successfully. I did pause the video there for a minute so you couldn't see my password. I don't want you using my account, you gotta make your own. So now when I click on the voice that I want to download, it'll ask me, would you like to download this voice? And I say yes. And then it will take just a little bit of time, depending on your signal strength, to download that voice. And there's lots and lots of choices. So I think it's worth the energy to kind of let your students listen to some different voices to see what they prefer, since if it's a personal device, it's going to be their voice, so they should get to be involved in picking it. Or you can decide maybe for your class, the majority of your class is male, so we're going to pick a male voice for the classroom iPad. Or if we're going to refer to her in a fond way as a female, we could pick a female voice. Okay, so now I can select Brian as my voice, hit done, and now
I like you. I like you.
So you see Brian has a little bit of a British accent. That's lots of fun. So we go back into the settings. So now I have downloaded Brian, so he's available there, but my previous voice is still available as well. Or I could pick from a female voice. Some of them are pretty silly, and the sillier they get, the harder they are to understand. So just be sure you test them out. You can always just hit the speaker to hear them.
Hello, I'm Liam, one of the high-quality text-to-speech voices. Please go to the Upgrade store now to purchase and download my voice.
So you can see that the voices that begin with that pretty A, the red logo with the A, they're for purchase, but the ones that just have the microphone, they are all free downloads.
Hi, I'm Jennifer, one of the available high-quality text-to-speech voices. Select download now to install my voice.
So that's how you choose a voice. So let's talk for a second while we're talking about voices. If you go to the vocabulary and choose a new vocabulary, remember that two of our vocabulary choices are Spanish. So we're going to actually open the Spanish full. And if you've played around in your Spanish at all, you may not be that happy with it because it sounds like this.
Juga. Necessita. Saba. Juga necessita saba.
So Brian doesn't do a very good job of speaking in Spanish. So we need to make sure that we've set up a Spanish voice if we're going to be using a Spanish board. So we're going to go back to menu in the right hand corner. We're going to touch on settings. We're going to scroll down to voices. And we're going to go to the bottom where we'll find we can choose from the 4 free voices, which are Miguel, Penelope, Chonchita, and Enrique. So we're going to pick Miguel. and download him. And since I've already logged in, it just lets me download it right away. And again, don't despair if it takes a little bit to download it. It'll really kind of depend on your Wi-Fi strength. So now Miguel is ready. So I'm going to select him and hit done. And now
Jugar. Necesitar. Beber. Jugar, necesitar, beber.
Miguel speaks Spanish much better than Brian does. He has the accent for it. So let's see what happens if I tap English up there in the top left.
Play. Love. Ear.
So you'll see that it's switched back to an English voice. So let's look at those settings in menu, under settings, in the voices. We have Miguel set, and so if you look as you go down, it's a normal pitch, but the secondary language voice is Ivy. If I wanted it to be Brian, I could just open that, and Brian is right there because we picked him before. So now Brian is my secondary voice. So now if I toggle back and forth, it'll go from Spanish to English voices. So that's really, really, really important if you're using Spanish. Otherwise, your families will not like the Spanish if it's talking in an English accent. So play around with that and see how it goes. It's lots of fun. And that's the important thing, to have
Fun. Have fun.
Thanks for joining me. So here's the problem with Miguel being your first voice and Brian being your second voice, is that if I go back into my Lamp Words for Life and I'm in an English only vocabulary, like the full Lamp Words for Life,
Play. Like.
Miguel is trying to speak English and he has a very thick accent. So it's problematic for him. So we're going to go back into menu, into settings, and we're just going to make sure that our first voice is an English voice, Brian, and our secondary language voice is the Spanish, Miguel. So that should clear up all our issues in my Words for Life.
Like. Your. Shoe. Like your shoe.
Brian's talking in English, and when I switch over to Spanish,
Jugar. Necesitar.
Miguel is speaking Spanish, and when we toggle to English, we go back
Play.
to Brian. Now, just in case you're wondering, Miguel isn't going to say those first two words and Brian say the third word.
Jugar necesitar. Play.
We're in English board, so Brian's going to say the whole thing. So you can't mix Spanish and English voice in your message window. That would be fun, but it doesn't work that way. So be sure that you get those settings just right.